Hey, everybody. Welcome to our webinar about the Send to Amazon program or interface, actually. So my name is Jeff with InventoryLab. So with the recent changes and everything, we wanted to get a webinar out there to kind of show you how to work within the app and with Send to Amazon. So let me just share my screen here and we'll jump right in. So what you're seeing now as you go to Seller Central for the first time from a shipment, like when I click here, if I were to click here on this shipment, I would get something, this screen here. And so this gives me the option to return to the old workflow. That's the Seller Central interface here that everybody's familiar with. Or I can try send to Amazon. So what we've told people until we got more information from Amazon is that we wanted you to have box contents off, create your shipments, and go into the send to Amazon workflow. So you'd use this, but we've done some testing, and so we've got some tips here for you that we hope will help you through this. So one of the scenarios is, say you create a shipment, you have boxes, dimensions, you've got box contents, and you're waiting for the green success message to show up here. Now, without going into Seller Central, you can make changes, wait for that green success, make sure you've cleared out any errors, adjust your expiration date or add an expiration date if you get those errors. But anyway, without even going into Seller Central, you want to see that green success message. I'm going to do some scenarios here just to show you what I mean. And then once you are done sending box content, you get the green message. You click right here on the shipment. You're going to see this. And now you want to click on return to old workflow. And that will take you to this user interface. And with this user interface, you will be able to function just as you have in the past. And so, let's just we're just going to add some items here. And if there's any questions you may have throughout this as I'm going, feel free to put those in the comments box and I'll address those as I can. But I'm just going to do a quick test to show you what I mean. So we're going to select this. Yeah, I'm going to replenish that. Let's say I have 20 of those. Add to the batch. And I'm going to review the batch, submit that. And now I get to the shipping plan page or proposed FBA shipping plan. So I'm going to go ahead and create. And at this point, see my shipment over here. And I'm going to enter box contents. So let's say I have, 5 in a box. Now I have 15 left, so I'm just going to copy the boxes because they're all the same. It tells me how many I need. Yep, that's right. It's creating my box contents. All looks good. I'm going to transmit boxes. And now, if the boxes are all the same size, then I can just put those figures here and they'll filter down through all the boxes. Probably aware of this, but just for those that aren't, I just wanted to make sure to point that out. And these are fake numbers. I'm just doing this for a demo. So now once that's done, the batch closes. I can go back to the list and prep page. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till I get the green success success message. And so one of the things we're sending out to people now is to continue as normal, just stay on that old workflow. So just return to old workflow. Don't go to send to Amazon. That gives you more flexibility. And then if you do decide to switch to send to Amazon for your shipments, you need to make sure that you've done every single change you can think of or that's needed before you go to your shipments page. Because once you click on this try send to Amazon, you won't be able to edit. So they'll not receive any changes through third parties like ourselves, and this includes quantities, quantity changes, box content changes, including the box and expiration date changes, dimension changes, and then using the add to working shipment option. And then there won't be any option to make any changes in Seller Central either. So you want to make sure you stay in here. You get the success message, which I've gotten. So now I can go by clicking here. And what I should see, I'll see it flash there, but then it takes me to this where I make a choice. Now, if I go try send to Amazon, I can't make any choice or any changes, you know, and that's fine. But if you want to have the flexibility, just return to old workflow right here. And now I can scroll down. I can see that my boxes are all in there. And now if I decide, I'm going to go to box contents for this one. So let's say a couple more damaged. Didn't realize that till now. So I've only got 16. Let's see if I can do that. Okay, so I need to take 4 out. Okay, and now I can change that to 16. And then what I'd want to do is put in 1. So I want to have 4 there. There. Over there. Then these other ones are going to go into the last box. Oops, put them into the wrong box. Meant to assign those to box 1. So I can switch boxes just by clicking the blank area. Select box 1. Now I can put those into box 1. So now I have 4 in each. And I'm going to transmit updated boxes. This is all, if I needed to make changes, I could certainly do that here. So let's just say I want to change that to 9. Tabbing through, make the changes. I'm going to leave the box size the same. The weight's changed a little bit. And so now, again, I'm going to wait for the success message. And that should have made the changes in Seller Central. So eventually what's going to happen is Amazon's going to automatically convert the shipments over to the send to Amazon flow. So we just advise not to navigate to Seller Central until you're completely finished with list and prep for your shipment. So the other option that we've also put out there is just turn box contents off and only provide them through the send to Amazon workflow. And I'm going to show you a video here shortly on how that all works. But again, we're still working with Amazon and our own developers on alternatives. And so once we have any information, rest assured we're going to get that out to you either in-app or email or both. But so watch for that stuff to come through. So that was scenario 1. And okay, so now it's changed. I can go to that. When I click on it again, it automatically takes me here because I've already made the choice. So when I was at this screen, I made the choice. And once I make the choice on a shipment, that's it. No going back. And then you see here where I can edit. It changed it to the 9 pounds. So I could proceed with this one. Just clear that out. And so, that's the regular path. And so you do have the option to edit and do all that stuff. So now let's just going to close this. Oh wait, let me just restore a batch here. Okay, so on this one, I'll show you what happens if I'm going to review the batch, submit. The status. Okay, I'm going to create the shipment. And go to enter box contents. Now, I'm just going to do this one simply, everything in one box. Transmit the box. Say it's 15. And submit them. Now again, I'm just waiting for the green success to come. So now remember, this is box contents on, but I'm going to choose a different workflow as soon as I get that success. So currently I can make changes here if I wanted to. I could change this down, to 5% or 6, whichever's greater. But again, once I pick a user interface here, I won't be able to make any changes. So once we get that send to Amazon or seller success message, sorry, I'm going to pick the send to Amazon and I'll show you. And you won't be able to edit it there either. So okay, so I've got that. So now I can click on the shipment. I should again see the option. I'm going to go send to Amazon. Okay, and so you can see it right here. You cannot make changes to this list. I mean, that's it. This is case pack, units per box 15. One box, 15 units. That's it. Now, if I wanted to change that, let's say it was transmit updated boxes. Let's just say that was 13 now. It's the same on individual items though. But now I've transmitted the updated boxes, and now again we're going to wait. But you'll see that those changes won't go through to Amazon because I've selected the send to Amazon workflow. If I'd have remained in the old workflow, I could have made those changes and then they would be reflected. So for now, just make sure your shipments, everything here is correct. Take that extra time. Don't be in such a hurry to get to Seller Central and make a choice, because once you make a choice, you can't go back. So just wait for that green success message. Make sure if you do get an error, you can go to the Amazon listing errors and you can fix those. But you want to do all that before you even go into Seller Central. The other thing about, I mentioned add to working shipments. So when I'm creating shipments, if I have an add to working shipment option, if that shipment is in the send to Amazon flow, won't be able to do it. It won't work. That's another restriction. Okay, so we've got the thing there. Here's the send to Amazon. I'm going to refresh that. And you can see still 15. Can't make any changes. There's nowhere on this page to make any changes. Also, we were looking into seeing if we could combine here. But you'll notice that when you're doing the small parcel delivery, merge workflows is not available for small parcel shipments. However, if you're shipping less than a truckload, you do have that option to merge. And then if I had another workflow, I could select that to merge. So for less than a truckload, you do have that option in Send Amazon to merge. But again, you can't edit at all other than merging those. So that's the big thing. Just make sure you're sure of everything before you go. And for now, if you want to use box contents through us, you can do that. Just make sure, again, return to the old workflow. And now if you have box contents off, so let's just create a batch. I'm just going to use one of the old batches we have here. This one has box contents off, so I'm just going to restore it. Okay, I'm going to review, submit, keep that status. And that's related to the restock report, because if I mark something on order in there, this would remove that because I've just ordered it. So I'm going to create. And with box contents off, that's the end of the workflow. I just complete and close batch. And that's it. So then I can go back to this shipment, box content off, click there. And this should ask me as well. So I'm going to try to send to Amazon. So if this were an item that had expiration dates or required, you'd see that here. You'd have to add the expiration date right here. Prep's not required. That's already been set for this item. If you're shipping in something that's new to you that you haven't sent in before, you'll be required to click here. It'll have a link. Then you can add the prep type, if it's required or not. And then also select labeling. Since we've sent this in before, it's already preset for that. And then it's all ready to go. But now I go to pack units. And again, this is where you can pick Amazon to do it. You can do it through a web form, or you can do it through uploading an Excel file. I'm going to play that video and show you real quick on how that happens. But you'll first have to confirm any expiration dates and the shipment, and then move on to the regular box content, which is this. And you cannot change any quantities. It's just 20 units. There's no option to edit that. So that's why you want to make sure when you're here that you've edited and you make sure that that's how many you're going to be sending in through to Amazon. So now the other option is if you're going to import from InventoryLab. Now you may or may not be aware of this, but as soon as you send batch feeds, your batch closes. So for example, let's just restore this one. So I'm going to review the batch and submit. I'm going to uncheck request proposed FBA shipment plans. I'm going to go ahead and send those box or batch feeds. And once I do, it takes me automatically to the open batch here on the closed batches page. At this point, I would export the send to Amazon file. Just save that so I can find it later. It's just a text file. So if I need to go to Amazon, let's say I'm in, go to the main page, Seller Central, and I want to go to the send to Amazon page. This is the menu. You want to go to shipments under inventory. Once I'm there, I go up to the shipments tab, go to send to Amazon. And you'll see that I'm still looking at that previous workflow. It's because it retains it. I can delete it just by clicking here, confirming that I'm going to delete it. I could also, this is also another active one, but I'm going to do a new one. So I'm just going to click start new. And I can select it from my list if I want to do it that way using send to Amazon. Of course, that's not going to capture my buy cost information. That's important so you can get those accurate reports. And so I'm going to do file upload. And I'm going to upload a completed file. Let's see. This is the one. Download the error report. Let's see what that says. I think it could be because I'm brand restricted. Oh, okay. It's case pack. I picked the wrong batch. It's case packed. You cannot upload a case pack batch. So let me go back here and pick one that is not case packed. Do this one. Make sure I can tell it's not case packed, individual products. I want to make that mistake again. Uncheck. And now send to Amazon. Okay, so now I'm going to go here, upload the file, get the right one. Okay, so it's processed. Now you can see here, this is what I was talking about. Prep category is missing, so I want to click there. Prep category, no prep needed. Save it. Who labels seller? I get this a lot, but it doesn't really hold. I'm not sure why it keeps doing that, but then it goes away. So once you pick the labeling, it goes away. So don't get too freaked out. Continue on with saving it, and then you should be fine. Same with this one. No prep needed. Save it again. Same thing. Goes away. So as you can tell, they're still working out the kinks in Send to Amazon. So just keep saving till you get to this page and then close, and then everything's good to go. So that's how you upload a file to Amazon to do your Send to Amazon from a closed batch, and that's so you can retain your buy cost information, so you can keep track of all that still. And then you go to packing, and you can, if everything fits in one box, select that. If you have multiple boxes, you would select that here. And so let's say multiple boxes. I'll show you how it looks with a Excel file. I guess I can just do it. You don't need to uh, have me bore you with a video. So here, let's say we had 2 boxes. I have to select the boxes before I can generate an Excel file. So now that I've generated that, it's here. So I just have to download it. And so this is what it's going to look like. You see your items here. This is the quantity. You can see the red means it hasn't been boxed yet. So I told them it had 2 boxes. One there, and then the second one I have 1. Now everything matches up. Box 1, I'd put the weight, put the width, length, height, the box weight dimensions on each one here, save the file, and then once I save the file, I would upload it here. So that's how that's done. Now, if I do the web form, again, 2 boxes, open the web form, and I just say how many are in box 1. That's in box 1, and that's in box 1. And then fill in the weight and dimensions, and then confirm it. After I've filled in all of this, I would confirm it. And then it would just move on, confirm continue, and then it would confirm shipping and pay for it. So another scenario that can happen is when box contents didn't go through. So you created the shipment with box contents on, and you switched to send to Amazon before sending box contents. So what's going to happen is you're going to get a message saying that the box dimensions and weights you've used won't or provided won't be used because the feed upload file didn't contain information about what items, how many items are in each box. And so, make sure you enter the correct information to avoid manual entry next time. It does allow you to just enter them in a shipment, but make sure you have all that information correct. So let me just go to some of the comments here and see what we have. appreciate everybody coming on a Friday night. We wanted to get this webinar out so we could get this information out to you. So let's see, I'm scrolling through. Roadhouse is obviously better. Scott, got to go with Roadhouse. So is Amazon not fully removing the old workflow yet? Correct. We don't know for sure the date that they are, but currently you will get this every time you click on a shipment here to go work on it after you've done box contents and everything. You're going to get this screen. You can still go to return to old workflow. And so, this is something we're waiting to hear back from them on. So we're not sure if it's now. Yes, send to Amazon mandatory. It's the 16th, I believe. That's for people that do not use an API. So if you're doing everything in Seller Central, you're not using a third-party provider, and this is affecting all third-party providers. It's not just us. So if you're not using a third-party provider that uses the API, then yes, on the 16th, which I believe is Monday, you'll have to use send to Amazon. You won't have the other workflow available. People that use the API through a third-party provider are still able to use either option. We don't know how long that's going to last. So like I said, we're still working with them. But yeah, that's send to Amazon if you're not using us is going to be mandatory. But while you're using us or any other third-party provider that uses the API, you can still use the old workflow past Monday. This we don't know. Like I said, we're not sure how long this is going to last. And Kevin, why don't I get the enter box contents button? I only get submit. So let me just open one up real quick so I can see what you mean. So you review the batch, you click submit. You probably don't have this if you don't use a restock or have anything marked on order. And this is where you're going to create or get your proposed FBA shipment plans. So you want to sync. You should still get that if you're creating shipments through us. If you're just sending box feeds or batch feeds, you won't get that. Well, you want to disconnect or uncheck that box and then do it. But then if you create the shipment, once you do that, you should see this button if you're using box content. So if you're not seeing that, then open up a ticket in support and we'll be able to help you with that. And yeah, Chrissy has it here. It's mandatory for non-API users. So to clarify, normal course of business for sending to Amazon, hit the button, fix expiration dates, and hit return to old workflow. Yes. Make sure you get that success message and then use old workflow. If you hit send to Amazon, you won't be able to make any edits. So, but like you said, shouldn't be necessary if you've sent everything in correctly. So yes, Jim, that's correct. And Sandy, now, that was the original info because we had a limited amount of information from Amazon, but now you can have box contents on. Just make sure you select old workflow so you can continue to edit and do that. Okay, so you started a new shipment, turned off the box contents. You can't do it after you've created shipments. Once you send the batch feeds, there's a lot of editing in the background or a lot of editing that you'd have to do if you wanted to then start a new batch with box contents on. I mean, you could take an old batch, come to your closed batches, and maybe, this batch here, you had items that you wanted to created shipments with box contents on, say if this had off. You can select these, click restore, do new batch, and you want to enable box contents. You could turn it on for those. Um, and then this new batch would have box contents on for it. However, if you already created shipments, you'd have to delete all those shipments, close the batch, go in, restore as new by selecting those items, and then going through this process. But you'd also have to go to your inventory page, and since you've sent the feeds, we're going to be adding those replenishment rows. And so what I mean by that is you'll have one of these lines for that batch that has box contents off. So what you'd have to do is come into each item in that shipment or in that batch that you've already sent the feeds for and delete it by clicking there. Or actually, you would have to, easiest way is to come here and find each item that was in that batch with box contents off that you want to delete the replenishment row and select them all and then go to bulk edit. This will put everything on one page. And so what you can easily do is you see the replenishment rows are displayed here. So now I can just go in and delete that replenishment row. And that would take care of that initial batch. And then I'd want to finalize it and then go back and work on that new batch that has box contents on and then send the feeds again. And once I do, then I'll create new replenishment rows on each of those items. I'm not going to save this, so I'm just going to cancel. I can leave it open. The changes wouldn't take place yet, but I'm just going to cancel and it won't. Even though I've done it here, it won't take effect because I'm canceling. I'm not saving it. I'm just going to cancel that. Yeah, so like Chrissy says, turn box contents off, or you can leave it on and make sure you revert to the old workflow. Can't stress that enough. Always pick this if you have box contents on, old workflow. And yes, Evelyn can use the old workflow. I'm trying to address everybody's questions in here, so just to make sure you got everybody covered. Randy, you will be able to do this after Sunday because if you create a batch through InventoryLab and you send the feeds through the API with us, you'll still have this option available. It's only for people that are not using a third-party provider and people that are going directly to Seller Central. Like, if you used to go here, or you use the added product, and do that sort of stuff to create your shipments, then that'll switch you automatically to the send to Amazon. So, Julie, so after the 16th, we won't be able to tell which ASIN is in each box in IL. That will have to be set. Well, no, if you have box contents on, you can still go to the accounting, inbound shipping. It'll still show here as well. You'll still see this because you'll still be able to adjust it because you're using the old workflow. But if you send to Amazon, that won't help you much. If there's an error for an expiration date that is now listed, can that still be corrected? So that's why we say wait till you get the green success. You want to see that and pay close attention to any red boxes you have here. Don't just auto close them. Make sure that you keep this page, your Amazon listing errors under list. Make sure you keep this clean. This is a test account, so obviously we don't. But if you get an error and you take care of it, click that X, clean that up, get rid of those things. And then when you do get one that comes in, I would even check there just in case you missed it or you have somebody helping you before you even go to Seller Central. Check this page, see if there's anything there. If there isn't, and you've seen that green success, you should be good to go. But regardless, use the old workflow and you're still good to go on that one. Yes, Debbie, for now, yes, we'll let you know when that's going to be ending. But Like I said, we don't have a lot of information now. Our team's in direct contact. We're an Amazon partner through their software portal. So hopefully that will get us the information we need that we can help all of you. Saul, is this for a single SKU? Can it work with multiple SKUs? Yes. Yeah, just like it always has, you can use multiple SKUs in there. Yeah, I'm just using one. Yeah, like Chrissy said, I'm just using one to make this simple, just to show you an example. And you don't use send Amazon anyway until we make sure no error. So yeah, for you, if you've got everything figured out and you don't have any issues or errors, or you take care of them before you even go there, you should be fine. But yeah, you can still use the old workflow. It's just what we see a lot are some of our customers don't wait until they get that success message and they go right into Seller Central. They make edits there instead of editing through Stratify, which is the desktop app here. And so you want to make sure you're a little more patient. I know Q4 gets really busy, but especially then, you can't afford to be spending extra time trying to correct things and creating new shipments and things like that. So just take a little bit extra time each time and just to make sure you see those success messages. And if the errors come through, you correct them, uh, that sort of thing. But yeah, you can still keep using the old way as long as you hit the right button. Um, and we'd be working on something to get to work with the new workflow. Yeah, we agree. But like Chrissy said, they don't have this through the API just yet, but they will at some point. Um, so again, we're still talking with them, trying to figure all this out. We want to get you the best information. So do I have to re-enter all expiration dates and send to Amazon after entering NIL? If you're using box contents, well, let's just check it out. So doesn't have it, so I'm just going to close this. Find something with an expiration date. Oh, noodles. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to create a new one. Select that, restore, new, yes. So here we are, Miracle Noodles, purchase date, expiration date's there. Going to review, do all that. Going to create. You can see that I could add to working shipment because these are not in the send to Amazon setup, but I'm going to keep it separate. Okay. Everything looks good. Expiration date 19. I'm going to go to enter box contents. And let's say I have 10. Whoops. There. Create a new one. I'll just say they're just simple. Okay. So now we wait, and I'll come back to your question, Randy. Same old workflow, Jorge. As long as you, again, click here, don't click here. Um, yes, Kelly, I would agree. Don't do the send to Amazon yet anyway. Um, yeah, this could be part of that whole send to Amazon in case you went to the send to Amazon workflow by accident. You couldn't edit, do any of that. Um, I'm not familiar with those tickets, to be honest, so I shouldn't say, but um, yeah, we get this information kind of last minute, and so we did the best we could, and we knew for a fact that if you were directed to the send to Amazon, that you needed to have box contents off and do it that way. And so once we got clarification, that's why we're doing this webinar on a Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. So we get the information and we want to get that out to you as soon as we can. So we don't apologize if it was confusing. That's what we had at the time. So um, all right, now let's we got the success message. So let me get Randy's question back up. All right, so it's been accepted. So I'm going to click there and you send to Amazon. And the expiration date did come through. I can't make any changes to it. So if I hadn't added expiration date on that and then I went here, it wouldn't have registered even by making changes. So that's the danger there. So yeah, it does go through. You just got to make sure everything is correct and there's no errors. So see, we have some new comments. Debbie, yes. Since I turned off box content for my current shipment I'm working on, I will need to try to send, send to Amazon. Yeah, box contents. I mean, you could use the old workflow. You'd still have to upload box contents. If you've already created shipments and packed them up, that'll save you time. But I mean, if let me know, have you created shipments already from that batch with box contents off? Because if not, you'd still and you sent the feeds, you'd still have to go in and adjust your replenishment rows to take that out if you create a new batch with box contents on. So it might be, as far as time goes, better to just use the send to Amazon method for that one and just get that out instead of backtracking. That's probably what I'd do, save you time in the long run. But yeah, so if you have any other questions, get those in there. Didn't really set a time on this one, but you guys have had a lot of great questions. Again, sorry for the confusion. We were just going based on the information we had at the time. And so that's why we're here. There's you know, several people in the chat answering questions too, which I appreciate you guys. And yeah, yeah. So we are still, I've probably said this too many times, but again, we're still talking to Amazon, still waiting to hear back. Our developers have met with them now a couple of times, gone over a lot of stuff. I'm not privy to the meetings themselves, so I'm not sure what they talked about, but I do know it was all related to this and what can be done. And so great that they're working with us and taking our input. So hopefully some good changes will come about. But once we know, you'll know. And again, just keep track of your emails. We'll send an email and we'll do in-app messaging. And then, of course, we'll get that out to you. Oh yeah, no other questions, and I haven't seen any for a bit. So we'll go ahead and end this. But if you want to see this, go up to, if you want to see this again or watch part of it over, I'm going to post it tonight. It'll be in the Help Center. Go to the Help Center, go to webinar coaching resources, send to Amazon webinar. And it doesn't have it there now because I got to process it, wait for it to finish. And then once it is, I'm going to have that up. But it'll be up after this ends. It'll process and then I'll upload it. And so you can always go there to watch parts of this, see different sections. And there's also, if you go to the main one, there's several articles on send to Amazon. Oops, hit the wrong one. Sorry about that. Just search send to Amazon. This is the webinar. It'll show up there. Uploading a shipping plan file using send to Amazon. That's a step-by-step. It walks you through. There's also a video on how to do that. And then we also have a video on using send to Amazon with box contents off. Step-by-step walks you through there. And yeah, and the navigation is always changing in Amazon. We noticed that just the other day. So you got to get to that send Amazon page. It's inventory, shipments, and then under shipments, send to Amazon. So that's how you get there. But again, thank you very much. We'll be leaving this and I'll get that updated tonight. So again, appreciate you joining me on a Friday night. I know it's late, but wanted to get this out to you. So again, any questions you have, support at InventoryLab.com or go into the app, Stratify, go to support right here and fill out a ticket. And thank you again. And thanks, Chrissy Pop, Andy Zoomer, helping me out in there. Much appreciated. And we will see you all at the next one. Have a great night, great weekend.